Hello and welcome to the Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. I'm your host, Macy Renee, and we are going on a journey together, my friend. If you've been looking for a podcast geared towards your growth, self-awareness, navigating your brain's daily mind drama, and deep inner work to become your highest and best self, you are in the perfect place. Let's get started. Hey everybody, what is up? I hope that you're having an amazing day. I am recording this episode on a Saturday. I'm so excited and anxious to talk to you about the topic today, which is how nothing has gone wrong and the laws of the universe. And we're going to dive in to this because I think a lot of people struggle with this sometimes. And I definitely struggled with it before I was aware of it. And I think the big key thing to this podcast, Becoming Your Highest Self, is increasing your awareness, like helping you have that awakening, helping you come home to yourself, get to know yourself on a deep level, stop running from all of your crap, right? And learn how to face it so that you can step into your power, so that you can go be your highest and greatest self. And in order to do that, it means looking at the crap that we try to avoid. And it's the stuff that usually makes us feel bad. Those moments where we feel really bad are our teaching moments. We have to honor that. We have to lean in. So I hope this podcast and the episodes so far are helping to help you do that, because I really believe in this work. This work has changed my life. And if you can just lean into it all and work on yourself, I promise you, you will not be the same person a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And everything that you desire in your life, you are worthy of and you can have it. So if you don't feel that way right now, keep doing the work. You will get there. So today we're going to talk about how nothing in your life has actually gone wrong, right? And the laws of the universe and how you will be tested when you declare that there's something that you want. So let me just share with you. I know that we've talked about this in previous episodes, but change is really difficult, right? And what you're learning, if you're listening to the episodes prior to this one, is that your brain doesn't like change. It doesn't like to feel uncomfortable. And so it fights for you to be in the same place forever because that's predictable. That's what it knows. So when you go to do new things, your brain throws a fit and it tells you all the reasons you're going to fail, all the reasons it's wrong, all of the reasons you need to be afraid, all the reasons that you're dumb for doing something different because it can't predict what the outcome's going to be. And so this is something that I really want you to understand, and that's why we're going to talk about it today. The whole concept of how the law of attraction works, but more so about the laws of the universe and what the universe gives us when we declare that we want something or that we're going to step into a new version of ourselves. So here's what happens when we decide that we are going to do something that is going to help us up level, maybe something that's going to help us become our highest self. The universe then presents us with the opportunity to prove it, okay? So there's a few things that I'm going to talk about in this episode. One is, let's start with honoring your word as law and what that means. I think I maybe touched on this in another podcast episode, but we will talk about it again. Honoring your word as law means when you say that you're going to do something, or when you commit to something, that you honor what you said as a law. Okay, this is something that I learned from my life coach a little over 3 years ago, and it really taught me how to stand in my integrity. Because a lot of times we make promises to ourselves, we make promises to others, we say we're going to do something, and then when it's inconvenient, we back out, okay? We lose our integrity, we didn't follow through with what we said we were going to do, and guess what? We're energetic beings, and the universe responds to integrity. It responds to energy. So when you're declaring that you're going to do something, or you make a promise, or you make a commitment to yourself or to another person, in the moment that it really feels good, and then all of a sudden when it becomes inconvenient and hard and you don't feel like it, integrity and honoring your word as law is doing what you said you were going to do, even after the moment passes in which you felt good saying you were going to do it. Okay? So a lot of times when we're in a great mood, we're like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to follow through this time. We're going to go do this. I'm going to say yes to that, right? And as soon as it becomes hard, and as soon as our brain is like, no, I'd rather do something else, then we're like, oh, okay. And then we break our own commitment. We break our own promise to ourselves, and we don't follow through. And that is not honoring your word as law. So honoring your word as law is really about upholding your word and your integrity as if it were an actual law. Follow it as if it was a law. Like, I know people break the law, so don't get too stuck on this, with that. But people break the law all the time. But most of us follow the law, right? Think of like really, really harsh laws that you don't want to break because you know that there are serious consequences, like driving on the opposite side of the road, right? We don't just do that to test our luck. We don't just do that because we know that there are consequences when we break that law. We know we need to drive on the right side of the road if we're in the United States or wherever we're at. And if you drive onto incoming traffic, right, there are consequences. You are not following the law. And so if you think of the consequences you would have to face for getting in trouble for that, this concept of honoring your word as law is about following through with what you say as if it were a law. And it just helps you maintain integrity, okay? But moving on, here's what happens. And people all the time, this is what keeps people from getting where they want to be. And it's super simple, okay? But we make it mean way more than it actually means. So I'm going to use a coaching example, okay? Because I've had this experience over and over and over again. And anytime that I'm up-leveling in my life, it can be very hard for me to want to honor my word as law, right? Because in moments I feel good and I'm feeling empowered and I'm feeling brave, I might be ready to commit to something, and then the moment that I'm in a bad mood or down on myself or have a negative thought, then all of a sudden it'd be really easy to just like backtrack and not want to do it anymore. So here's what happens though. When you decide that you are going to up level in your life, you will always be presented with an opportunity from the universe to prove it. To prove that what you said you wanted is what you want, okay? And whenever you decide that you're going to do something, usually what happens is an obstacle is placed in your way. So here's my example. A few years ago, I wanted to invest in a coaching program, in a coach, right? And it was expensive for me at the time. Like, I had super poor money beliefs, still a work in progress, in fact, and I'm getting better for sure. But back then, it was very difficult for me to pay the amount of money that some coaches were asking for their value, for their services. And I finally had talked myself up into a place where I was going to go all in. I was going to commit to this coaching program. I was going to do it. Nothing could stop me. I reached out to the coach. I told them, I'm so excited. I'm ready to do your program. I cannot wait. This is so exciting. I'm ready to get to a different area of my life. I'm ready to overcome. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to do all the things, right? That was my commitment to myself. That was what I swore that I was going to do. And then crap hit the fan. Like, I am telling you, all the crap hit all of the fan. When I tell you that everything went wrong financially for me to easily, or not even easily, but like to follow through with my commitment to pay this coach, like, I did not see how I was going to follow through with the commitment. And I cried and cried and cried on the phone. I had no idea how I was going to overcome the issues. Like, I had so many things unexpectedly come out of my bank account, and the money that I was expecting to pay her with all of a sudden was gone. And I was in pure panic mode. And in my head, I'm thinking everything is going wrong. Everything is going wrong. And I didn't do the program. And I spent the next year battling the same issues that entire year. It was exhausting. It was annoying. It was so frustrating. Like, I cannot even tell you. And I watched people who were in my same situation that were able to do the program excel. Like, go from making no money to making a lot of money. Go from living in victimhood to being powerful and successful. And I was like, why is it easy for them? Why do they get the results and I don't? Why is it hard for me? Why does the universe crap on me? Right? And it's like this victim mentality, poor me, everything goes wrong for me. And I'm sure there is someone listening to this right now where you've wanted to do something, you've wanted to commit to something, and all of a sudden everything hits the fan. Shit hits the fan. Are you raising your hand wherever you're listening to this? Have you ever experienced that thing where you swear you're going to do it, you're excited about doing it, you're gung-ho, you're committed, you're all in, you're 100%, you're going to up-level, things are going to be different this time, and then crap hits the fan. And you're like, oh God, now I can't do it anymore. Life sucks. I was so excited about this. I really wanted to do it this time, but now I'm going to have to back out because my washer broke, my car broke down, the engine, burnt up. I have to put my kid in daycare. I'm not going to get that job that I thought that I was going to get. Like, all the things go wrong. And in our mind, we're like, the universe hates me. Somebody hates me because every time I try to get ahead, every time I try to grow, someone shats on me. Like, if you've ever felt that way, trust me, you are not alone. That's most people in the world. And after doing years and years of personal development, I have now figured out for the last especially year and a half that nothing has gone wrong. I want you to hear me. Nothing has gone wrong. Here is actually what is happening. When you have declared that you are going to do something and it requires a new you to show up, you can't be the same person that you've always been, because the person that you've always been up to this point has gotten you the results you're currently living in your life today. So if you want something different, it means you have to show up as a different version of yourself. You have to make different decisions than you're currently making. You have to step up in a different energy, because who you're currently being today has gotten you where you are today. So if you're trying to up level, and that means you want to hire a coach, right? And you ask them what the money commitment is, and they tell you, and you're like, oh shoot, that's really, really hard, but yeah, I'm going to do it. And then 3 things in a row go wrong and you back out, nothing has actually gone wrong. This is supposed to happen. This is the universe saying, prove it. Prove that who you said you were going to be when it was easy is who you're actually going to show up and be. Prove that the commitment that you made to yourself to show up no matter what is who you're going to be no matter what. Prove that the commitment that you're making to up-level in your life and to grow is who you're going to be even when shit hits the fan. Excuse my French. But seriously, that's what happens. Nothing has gone wrong. And let me tell you that when I believed that the universe was against me, and I believed that nobody was looking out for me because everything would always go wrong. Every time I was trying to grow, everything always goes wrong for me, right? When that was my story, everything went wrong. Why? Because I wasn't showing up differently. Every time I committed to something that was going to help me grow, the universe presented me with obstacles and circumstances to see if I was going to honor my word as law. Are you really going to step up to the plate? Are you going to show up as a different Macy? Are you going to make that money commitment even though you're scared? Are you going to let your brain figure out how to do it even though you just had 3 unexpected expenses? Because guess what? You don't get to be the same Macy when you're trying to uplevel. And for so many times, you guys, I would fall into my same Macy experience. And I would say, why me? Poor me. Everything's gone wrong. Oh, all of a sudden I have all these expenses. It's not a good time right now. It's not a good decision right now. It wouldn't be smart right now. And all that did was delay my progress, delay my growth. Because I was thinking that everything was going wrong and that it was a sign from the universe that it wasn't a good time, when actually it was a sign from the universe to ask me to up level into the person I said I was going to be. And I didn't follow through with it. And this happens all the time. Now that I'm out of this, excuse me, now that I'm out of this, I see it so clearly in other people. I see when they commit to something and then they back out because something goes wrong. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, actually, nothing has gone wrong. You are right on track. If you commit to something and then something goes quote unquote wrong, consider yourself on the right track. And the universe is saying, prove it. Show up the way that you said you were going to show up when it felt fun, when it felt convenient, when it felt exciting. Like, show up as that person, because that person is your highest self. That person's trying to get you to the next level. So if you're going to convince yourself that things have gone wrong and you're going to back out and make the same decisions you've always made, you're just operating at who you currently are, and there's not growth in that. You have to make that conscious decision to say, the obstacles are the universe's way of seeing how serious I am, how hard I'm willing to fight for my transformation, how hard I'm willing to fight for my evolution, how committed I am to what my word was when it felt good and when it felt convenient. Nothing has gone wrong whenever you're presented with obstacles, when all of the stuff breaks down and all of a sudden now it's going to be a challenge for you to do something. Nothing has gone wrong. That's not a sign from the universe saying, okay, here's a big sign for you to back out. No, it's saying level up. Guess what? You have to be a new person. I just gave you obstacles to overcome, and you have to be a new person to overcome those obstacles. So are you going to honor your word as law and show up and be that person? Or are you going to be who you've always been? There's a difference. I know there's passion behind my voice because I see so many people self-sabotage in this way. They will convince themselves that everything has gone wrong and that the universe hates them. And I understand it so deep to my soul because I was there. I was that person. And as soon as I allowed my brain to figure things out rather than run away from problems, but face them head on and figure things out, I up-leveled. Because the very thing that's trying to knock you out of the game is testing you to see if you're going to show up as a different person. Are you going to show up stronger? Are you going to show up better? Are you going to show up as your highest self? Or are you backing out of the battle and the promise that you made when it felt really good to make it before anything went wrong? Hear me, you guys. Nothing has gone wrong. Those obstacles are to see if you're serious about what you committed to. And a lot of times people feel like they are super committed and they really convince themselves that they want to change. They will say it all the time. I really want to change. I really want to do this. I really don't want to be the same person. I've got to grow. I've got to evolve. I've got to up level. I want to be where you're at. And then the obstacle comes because that's what energetically happens. The universe is giving you that opportunity to step into your power and up level. And I see it time and time again. People get presented with the opportunities and I'm thinking, yes, good for them. Let's see if they can figure it out and overcome it and step into their power and honor their word as law. And 90% of what happens, sadly, is they fall back and retract. It's not a good time for me. This happened. I think it's a sign that I'm not supposed to do it. No, this is your sign that you were supposed to grow and follow through with what you said you were going to do. And you didn't do it, right? So if this is you, don't beat yourself up about it. Consider it a blessing to have the knowledge and the information that the next time you commit to something, no matter what it is, right? It could be little things like, I am committing to the diet plan. I'm going to follow through with the diet. I'm going to go to the gym every day. And then all of a sudden your kid is sick and you have to pick them up early for school and you feel like, oh my God, this is one thing I wanted to do for myself. All I wanted to do was just work out today. And then my kid got sick and right? Do you figure out a way to get your workout in? Are you willing to step into your highest self to figure out, okay, if I have to be home with my kid because my kid is sick, am I going to wallow around in that and feel sorry for myself and make up all these excuses about why I wasn't able to go to the gym? Or am I going to maybe watch some home workout videos and figure out how to work out at home while I take care of my sick kid? Am I going to try to actually overcome and honor my word as law? Or am I just going to fall back into the person that I've always been, right? It doesn't have to be big investments in yourself. It's just whatever you commit to, whatever you say you're going to do. And I want you to pay really close attention to this. The next time that you feel really excited about something and the next time you say, I'm going to do it, this time I'm going to do it, this time I'm going to quit smoking, this time I'm going to quit drinking, this time I'm going to go to the gym every day, this time I'm going to eat healthier, this time I'm going to invest this money in this coach. Watch what goes wrong. Watch what goes wrong and freaking celebrate it. Because the universe just gave you the opportunity to prove that what has gone wrong is actually not wrong at all. It is your chance to up level and honor your word as law. And when you do, when you honor your word as law and when you up level, you step into a new level of growth. You step into a new version of yourself. You don't even operate from the same place. You grow little by little by little. Every single time you're presented with an obstacle or a circumstance that feels beyond your control, it may even be beyond your control. When you choose to follow through with your word as law, I promise you, you will be rewarded for it because you're becoming a different person on the other side of those obstacles. Nothing has gone wrong. You're in the right place. So the next time that you declare that you're going to do something, watch and see all the things that seem like they're going wrong and celebrate the crap out of it. Be excited that things are going wrong, that the universe is now presenting you with opportunities to figure things out and up level. Because if you can do that, you are looking at a completely new version of yourself on the other side. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it as you get closer to where you want to be. Love you guys, and I will see you all next episode.